It's time for another bicycle side quest. I've been working at home and really decided that I needed to get out and do some of my writing somewhere else. So I decided to get out of the suburbs and head up the canyon and into the mountains. Because of the construction on this road, the traffic was just really unpleasant riding along next to these cars. That's supposed to be a bike lane that has the signs and the garbage cans. And, I could not stand riding in traffic anymore, and so I just took the sidewalk. I always feel a little guilty riding on a sidewalk because it's for walkers. But obviously there was nobody walking along this path right now. And almost never anybody on this path anyway. This sidewalk is up a hill in a very car-centric part of our town. So I turned onto a horrible strode. As soon as I had an opportunity, cut across over to the far side, and finally, thank goodness, onto a protected bike lane. Once I'm on the bike path, it is such a huge relief. Just so much nicer. So much more pleasant not to have cars near you or next to you. This electrical relay station thing, clearly the ugliest part of the whole ride, right at the mouth of the canyon. But since it is just down the canyon from one of the first hydroelectric plants that was powering a municipality. It's in the National Register of Places, the Olmsted Station. So it does at least make a little sense right there. Riding through a group of high school boys who were running and just take the whole path. But finally get past them. And then it's pretty much just a smooth ride straight up the canyon. Gentle uphill. Just a couple of very pleasant miles. Heading up the canyon here, you can't see it, but on my left is the Provo River, and on my right is the 4-lane highway that takes traffic from Utah County to Heber County and back and forth. I'm going to read a poem, just like I did last time. This is by W.H. Auden. It's his poem, Musée des Beaux Arts. It's probably his most famous poem. About suffering they were never wrong, the old masters. How well they understood its human position, how it takes place while someone else is eating or opening a window or just walking dully along. How, when the aged are reverently, passionately waiting for the miraculous birth, there always must be children who did not specially want it to happen, skating on a pond at the edge of the wood. They never forgot that even the dreadful martyrdom must run its course, anyhow, in a corner, some untidy spot, where the dogs go on with their doggy life, and the torturer's horse scratches its innocent behind on a tree. In Bruegel's Icarus, for instance, how everything turns away quite leisurely from the disaster. The plowman may have heard the splash, the forsaken cry, but for him it was not an important failure. The sun shone, as it had to, on the white legs disappearing into the green water, and the expansive, delicate ship that must have seen something amazing, a boy falling out of the sky, had somewhere to get to and sailed calmly on. I'll talk about the poem in a minute, but here I am arriving up at Canyon Glen Park. I'm going to stop here just right on this bridge overlooking the Provo River. There it is, looking downriver. Just a beautiful day. The sun, the light, the temperature, everything was perfect. And here is a shot of my lovely bicycle. It's just a bike I bought from REI. My wife and I have matching bikes. Just kind of a cheap touring bike with a bunch of random bags on it, but I really like it. It's a good bike. There's looking upriver. See my shadow chilling there. I wanted to get up and do some of my writing. Didn't want to take too much, so I just went up the canyon with a little keyboard and my phone. Have a little cheap stand that I bought at IKEA for 99 cents. Tapping using a program called IA Writer, and it's kind of amazing. The phone that I always have with me, a keyboard that weighs just a few ounces, and a stand that weighs like an ounce, and I could write and write and write. Technology is amazing. This poem by Auden, it's talking about suffering. It says so in the second word. About suffering, they were never wrong, the old masters. And it's really referring to the fact that while some people are suffering, the rest of the world doesn't notice. They don't care. They are children skating on a pond at the edge of the wood. They are just wrapped up in their own concerns and not worried about what other people are dealing with. There is a potential reference to the birth of the Savior where it talks about the aged that are reverently, passionately waiting for the miraculous birth. Some contention there, not sure if that's specifically what he's referring to. Possible, even likely, but not guaranteed. And the last section is talking about Bruegel's poem of Icarus, and it's a very famous painting. You see his father flying in the sky, and you see down in the water at the bottom just Icarus's legs sticking up from where he has fallen into the water. And of course, nobody else cares. The boat sails on. The plowman might see it, but there's nothing he can do about it. So he just does his work. Let me read the poem one more time. Musée des Beaux-Arts by W.H. Auden. About suffering, they were never wrong, the old masters. How well they understood its human position, how it takes place while someone else is eating or opening a window or just walking dully along. How when the aged are reverently, passionately waiting for the miraculous birth, there must always be children who did not specially want it to happen, skating on a pond at the edge of the wood. They never forgot that even the dreadful martyrdom must run its course anyhow in a corner, some untidy spot where the dogs go on with their doggy life and the torturer's horse scratches its innocent behind on a tree. In Bruegel's Icarus, for instance, how everything turns away quite leisurely from the disaster. The plowman may have heard the splash, the forsaken cry, but for him, it was not an important failure. The sun shone as it had to on the white legs disappearing into the green water, and the expensive, delicate ship that must have seen something amazing, a boy falling out of the sky, had somewhere to get to and sailed calmly on. Riding back down the canyon here, the opposite direction, just the same road I came up a little bit before. It's nice, this direction is all downhill. So it's just kind of a long, gentle coast through a brisk autumnal afternoon. It's interesting how I can go from feeling pent up and anxious and frustrated and procrastinating and kind of annoyed at home, and then I hop on my bike and ride around for a little bit, and the words flow and I'm in a better mood, and the world just feels like a better, happier place. That's why it's just, bicycles are magic. Bicycles are magic. It's also nice to live in a place where I can just hop on my bike and in a few minutes be up in the mountains and have trees and rivers and hills all around me. So, thanks for joining me on my bicycle side quest. If you like it, want to see more, like and subscribe, or visit my website, luckywords.net. See you next time.